Okay, it was from Makwaba, in the China was about some 24 or 23 hours ago. I brought you a video where I was explaining court cases and human nine beer. Abusuapanin Tupac&Lawyers and presented it to High Court and said, here when it comes to the injunction or opposite lawyer and the true celebration of life of that lumba. And I spoke from a layman's perspective, right? Probably maybe I wasn't able to break it down to your satisfaction. I spoke to a lawyer friend yesterday, and then he agreed to speak on the matter to explain the things basically to us. So you are going to enjoy that conversation. The only thing about the conversation is that it's not an audio conversation because he doesn't want his face to be seen. It's not a video conversation. I mean, it's an audio conversation. So you're going to enjoy that. If you're delve into it, don't subscribe and part to subscribe. Man, I like it. Nothing else post notifications. Never again, Chef Abra. Our comment section also, man. And shout out to also come Mama Mary Aquile from Netherlands, Ma Constance, Ma Tillion, also from Belgium. Thank you so much. Let's go and watch that video now and so. Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Patrick, be able to call.
Oh, no, me Adam.
Okay. If I saw a idea and your bonina, assembly na mene menkofo be ntiase and I say yedebema obia owonim dia o law Ghana emra ne ho na nka wache ye mukakra. Patrick say kwan wo
ho. Oh,
okay. If I me send the documents earlier, I don't know what check here concerning
documents.
Okay, and na yenti nyoma bi ase. Yes, it be a plaintiff and will be a defendant. But beginning in plaintiff and defendant, no difference near day.
Okay, so plaintiff near Ubia on the assembly Aquadine court.
Okay.
On asking on a report an issue at the Ama court.
Okay.
And a defendant name for who I am bored with in summer plaintiff maybe Aquadine court. Or more moving woman say or maybe young court in a defendant. Basically, in conform one bar same. Over court say Obi Sama and you see the word allegedly.
Okay.
For allegedly, I go muti.
Okay.
Say Sendiano our court. If you a lay person or the defendant, in for plaintiffs now report your Modiama court.
Okay.
So because something in law the friend of the court or no subject is assembly because we are no subject about the filing case as a friend of the court.
Okay. If I show na asemi mede bi ma o document bi na nyoma 9 bi yes plaintiff na no na o de cause nka ye ne beje se nka betimi a break is anyama down because law bro no ye nti ase ati ase nka betimi a break ne down ma ye nyina ya ti ase anki ne beje pa.
Okay.
Ana pato miame enkin kan ma ona
what's a
pato bana mi buza se miame enkin kan ma wana ana wa be kan na wa chirim
me kan ne ma chirim what's a mega
pato an muton kan o say first one 9 first one no o say a declaration that the plaintiff as Abusuapanin of the Akosua family of Akosua Serwaa has the sole and exclusive authority to organize, supervise, and approve the burial and funeral rites of the late child Akosua.
Okay, so with this, what they are seeking for is the authority over the funeral. Plaintiff, I hear Abusuapanin because one or your family head. And then under account customary law, say family head normally on the final say it's about a year home to say and I say any other family engagement Abusuapanin and what the final say, but then Abusuapanin must also act for the family members. And this is also take it down and say Abusuapanin so Ominaya Jenko So,
Mm.
so what the Abusuapanin is seeking, or the plaintiff is seeking, that it should be established, or Mrano and Mankata who is the honor or what authority over the funeral. So basically that's what our first claim no Kazancho no pay, and it was also responsibility so obey organize it a year no obey supervise a year no obey sign approve all the related funeral rights are the course of the benefit was our authority. So that's basically what the first claim is talking about. But what the honor says.
If I try to tell honestly.
Okay.
Okay,
So
to make me a second one.
you got the second claim.
Okay, the second one was a declaration that the burial and funeral rites, a funeral ceremony held on 13 December 2025, constituted the final and valid funeral rites of the deceased under the account customary law.
Okay. So basically, idea also and also a first funeral rites somewhere in back in 13 December. No. But say in Mano established another court and established say, sir, funeral rites no muyema bed lumba no a final a valid.
The 13 December. No?
Yes, a final, a valid, and then customary to they should recognize it as the funeral, meaning the court may agree. What about legal? The disease has already been properly buried according to tradition, because the final funeral rights from the customary law. In some say and manage to say legally. You see that the man say you can't cheat. According to the traditional way, come. Yeah, other day, and then no further funeral or rites are necessary or valid or should be held. What do you say?
That's one. Okay. Third one was a declaration that the defendant's proposed celebration of life events scheduled for 28th and 29th March 2026 is unlawful, unauthorized, and contrary to account customary law.
Okay. So I think last week, this was just last week now, defendants and almost funeral rights. Now, in some plaintiffs, can say, have funeral rights, March 28-29, 2026, plaintiffs need to or did he say unauthorized, any unlawful, and then it's against one thing I also the account custom, because normally a year they buy account mambrana. Me better make a key stand because at time court nankata every decided, but where in some plaintiff or claim for we ain't say over account mamu a year they ain't about and on some occasions maybe when say family maybe a baby a family you need now put a adrenco family members and say oh you be by your mom at that time so be
okay.
Claiming say the defendant in here, it shouldn't be valid because it is against the account custom. It is unlawful and I find unauthorized. I'm going to say court a ruling as illegal. Any kind of kasa celebration of life, no matter funeral right celebration, a caution.
Okay. Okay. Now, celebration of life and funeral ceremony difference woman.
It depends. It depends. But social the course it was basically like a funeral writer almost year be on the first date plaintiff, a year be that was 13th December 2025.
Okay. And the next one I'll say an order of perpetual injunction restraining the defendants, their agents, assigns or privies from organizing, performing, advertising, felicitating or holding any further funeral, burial or celebration of life in respect of the list.
Breaking it down is basically a permanent ban.
Into perpetual injunction a permanent ban.
Permanent ban. This is may accept the court should rule in favor of them to stop the defendant from organizing any funeral or memorial.
Or say, or
advertising or
celebration of
promoting
life.
such events. Yes,
Or say, in respect of the late Charles Kojofosu, aka Daddy Lumba.
yes, yes. And then holding any celebration of life for the disease, which is Charles Kojofosu, that Lumba. So they should stop it. He's asking the court to tell them to stop it. That should place a permanent ban on it.
Okay. And now, or sign by and or say,
And I mentioned meaning the court granted and under no circumstance should the defendant organize such an event without the plaintiff's permission. Without the plaintiff's permission. Do you get
okay.
it?
Bachani. Bachani. Meet me at work.
Which one to answer?
5. Now say an order restraining the defendants from using the name, image, likeness, or identity of the late Charles Kojofosu for commercial, fundraising, or promotional purposes without lawful authority.
And the way they know, the plaintiff, court and stop the defendant from using the disease name, image, and then the likeness, which means they don't even want posters and then flyers for the event.
Okay.
They don't want anything that will be out there in social media talking about any fundraising activity tied to the funeral. Also, normally with the posters, any invitation cards, call out for funeral, inviting people to come and help you. At the actual some Buana, Muni, Enfi, and Honor. That is the uncle. Almost present in plenty of trema or person defendants in the you see any of flyers that they invite you be actually be amber funeral. Already now, planes now you can both in the almost keep a permanent ban on any celebration of life or funeral or anything. So of course, say that there's no way about the flyers and our posters. But in memory, if you are seeking for something, you have to lay all those provisions down. Then they are the other clear. The Yama course no much may delegate as well.
Meet me at work with the next one, right? Okay. So the next one is an order of interim and or interlocutory injunction pending the final determination of this suit, restraining the defendant from proceeding with the advertised event scheduled for the March 2026 or any similar event.
With the honey.
Or say an order of interim and or interlocutory injunction pending the final determination of this suit.
Interlocutory injunction it's more like an immediate stop or a temporary order.
Okay.
A permanent ban.
Okay.
But you be at any year.
Okay.
Also, any moment from now, to me, celebration of life in any way. What the plaintiff is saying now is that the court should give out a temporary order to immediately stop that celebration of life at airports. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen while the case is still on trial or while the case is still ongoing. So for now, what you might be attending any celebration of life a process and defendants in the bar concerning these funeral rights and the court should prevent that. They should temporarily stop that until say they are sending in our age.
Okay. But and the next one, I'll say an order restraining the defendants from soliciting or receiving donations from the public in the name of organizing any funeral or memorial ceremony for the deceased.
In the way, no be any fundraising there. And you look at the defendants, of course, to pay for any money. I mean, fundraising concerning disease funeral rights. Because some of these are attended that to, of course, once a court, it shouldn't happen. Any kind of defendant, a court disease can so, a baby or the year.
Okay. And the eighth one is costs, including legal fees.
So, and then the Asama Babe Court, to me, and so that without claiming for any damages and and the only person defendant in legal fees, any other related costs or more care concerning case here more than down court. So basically claiming for damages and seeking for relief on damages and legal fees and then other related costs.
Minampacho say anka asema senka eyini de you can say defendant na de on small plaintiff na on court that na also trying legal
Or only chamber the court a was in favor. He has that right to seek for an equitable relief or remedy or damages cost. Because on no opinion or no at the advanced court we should see him as the only authority, as being fun to say leader. Oh no way to me I am to say concerning a year of honor this year. So this year no one time now but so he has every right to be that everything will play or that court every these things
Okay, and a ninth one will say any further order or orders that his honorable court may deem fit in the circumstances.
Then only what farmer court and the court in the any additional decisions they can wire appropriate court na kasa bit maybe account in his claims. The standard legal clause. Yeah, normally amount for any key claims at the court or model count.
Oh, okay. Into when plaintiff no here every court no.
This is the bonnet of our plaintiffs, and them according court now. Court now they have a deliberation or they will try this case to know who controls the funeral rights, whether the disease has already been properly buried, whether a second ceremony is lawful, and then the control of the disease legacy. Also, stopping them from a more process next like that court also ever find it out whether NIPA or control of those diseases. Any that will look big person in Ghana. And don't mean we find maybe they are trial Ghana and what I say. Really in some normal report, about the deliberation or all legal issues from this case, and the court will mainly decide who is the legitimate authority under the account law. So they are going to go to customary law, check all the provisions, then see NIPA legitimately, or authority. Now, Master I should say December funeral valid and not saying valid. No, Master I should last one say can another ceremony legally take place. This is a court, bobo. There are some brothers. Anything a justice is in the other. I'm not fair.
Number two, after say filing case, or filing in the position of an Abusuapanin, right?
Yes.
Yes, because does that mean that if he is no more the Abusuapanin, this case nullifies?
So when you Abusuapanin, in terms of would the case make court?
Yes, because as I'm saying. Or the same way because social plaintiff as I'm the coin or say the plaintiff as Abusuapanin of the corner family. So they call in the power of Abusuapanin. What you are saying?
So he's seen in favor of all the family members. So
yes, but they call as Abusuapanin.
As Abusuapanin on the authority.
Yes. But the thing is that Sir Abusuapanin or the Omoko court other members also of the family. So does that mean that if he is no more the Abusuapanin, a same way, engineer be a man?
Onye Abusuapanin kwa obetumi case akoko under certain provisions. Yes, under first pan. Nanka Abusuapanin in a room to me obetumi akoko. The Abusuapanin wasn't accountable to any of the family members back then, but now Abusuapanin are accountable to them. Some reasons I'm starting, you guys are And you might be another it must be in the interest of the family members, the
Yes.
principal family members
Yes.
and the other family members. And the other same way I go court that's where court been at the limit on these things.
But a question you discuss and say, Papa now the call court no. Abusuapanin or the way call court no. Some few days ago, Abusuapanin to no. As Abusuapanin, you met to na there so.
Time of the case may call court na or that's a Abusuapanin.
No, that's Abusuapanin. But say Ometuni, on Abusuapanin.
It's so good. It's so good. And normally, when you Abusuapanin after all the case, what they will do is that you better fair more. Now, I'm putting out to resolve first. Going to me, and you take it there. And now, Obia won't find. We'll be saying Obia won't find say or the case in the court. If he a case we know a back quarter, he was then the Abusuapanin. What was there? But this year, then now can you tune at the so. And you say could do on or more deliberate on and you might be better sound provisions not the outcome because Siciano as a plaintiff there's no more they are paying again.
Okay.
You get it. So things will be changed there. The Opo was no media set. Recorded so on man. Or more recorded during the course of the trial. Even the defendant can read that it's no more they are paying to. And the court will say an officer and say remote. I am more category or more an office of this record. Everything that you say there no will be put on record. So it should be official and then it should be true. So the defendant can even read say it's so much it should be clarified there. They will make an amendment to that statement there.
So if Onyebusuapanin, can he as a single person set up a declaration, say obey the sole and exclusive authority to organize a funeral for someone when he is one person
but
and not
at the time
that,
the first funeral right was being held, he was the Abusuapanin, right?
Yes. But now what you're saying is that on person will be able to
anything I make can say court should say obedient to me as I do one.
Okay.
So court will go into that and then talk about that. It's I think maybe so they will really delve into it and see. Even crime over between there so they can even see say on musicians that it passed through the right channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Into when and your mother the coach now court name and a court also it's not some so 25th a train me and a court in the na court no so no and also my documents no send off the me reading I can also check more.
Okay.
Into conclusion no I think say point 13.
I know.
Conclusion.
No. What plaintiff needing date ruling manager with defendants needing now.
Yes, in fact. Into the next page. Into Osha, the defendants no bomb young of 4.
Defendants are for Akosua Serwaa Robert James Yeki Wabaya Kuku. And it's now Abusuapanin and then Akosua Eke Papa She.
Yes. And the judge, a final here, a ruling, and a page 13, point 13.
Yes.
And to point conclusion, or say, thus, upon consideration of the processes so far filed, the court opines that the plaintiff, who sued as head of family and the defendants, there are obviously serious questions to be tried in respect to the customary law of the parties, which requires preserving the status quo pending a final determination of the suit. I am guided by the fact that the grant or refusal of an interlocutory injunction is discretionary and must be expressed judicially, fairly, and candidly, taking the settled principles into account. In the circumstances, therefore, and in the exercise of my discretion, I hold the equities favor granting the instant application, and same is accordingly granted.
The court observed that the event illegal or whatever customary laws mandatory. So it could be rescheduled without causing irreparable harm. However, court says there are serious questions regarding the customary laws that needs to be resolved in the full case. The move you suit judicial discretion. Then a court, granted the interlocutory injunction. That is the permanent ban. So, the defendant may be restrained from holding any event related to the letter until the suit is finally determined. So, on the full trial. On the full trial. And then the plaintiff was ordered to give an undertaking to pay any damages the defendant may suffer if it turns out the injunction shouldn't have been granted. You see, other courts, almost the court of it. Courts are granted interlocutory injunction. Or time, I have two plaintiffs naming say, so we have full trial, maybe not so we say, and can you find say, Omode signed interlocutory injunction to defendants as well. Plaintiffs said of any damages. Plaintiffs any option than to pay. Now the defendants now was again to file a statement of and then all the pleadings will be settled within 14 days. And of course we'll put only case now for 23 people. And so basically that document now send the man court ruling. This is what the court ruling about the social media.
Now, there's a part of it as well. I didn't really understand it. The paragraph 14, no, it said that I direct the defendant to file their statements of defense within the next 7 days, and all pleadings shall be settled in 14 days.
Never.
Okay.
Document.
Okay. So, are you ready? I mean to me, as I can you should be more.
Maybe a document for
paragraph 14. Hello.
Read it.
I'll say, I direct the defendants to file their statement of defense within the next 7 days, and all pleadings shall be settled in 14 days.
So, a timeline.
Okay.
A timeline. What's the timeline?
Okay.
So, defendants over 7 days to file their defense. Put the legal documents, all the pleadings within 14 days, so easy. That's not a honor, a chance. We need to what am I here?
Every time, that's what happens.
Because of the timeline, course, so we have 7 days. So the other rules that the defendant should follow. So that's we're taking a time to move the case forward and quickly. Because on that timeline on someone, you'll be happen of the emergency. So defendant and say, or 7 days, okay, obtain statement of defense. So I want to, you tell your side of the story. Why they are saying, I don't responded to plaintiff claims. Now, so the also argument about of course the fairness. Why they are saying, fairness, plaintiff not matter about. If there is a only deal with man, I should be with back. So, so all pleadings will be done in 14 days now. It's just all formal documents from both sides. From both sides, we have a formal document and by within 14 days.
And sana 23rd, you are saying a court will be.
Yes. Until our adjourning case now go 23rd April. It is that 14 days and the paper was saying,
Okay.
Paper was.
Okay.
When this me, I will pay the difference. We need responded. Make it me responded. Not plaintiff me responded. Enjoy the timeline at the time. Or see, make defendants responded with statement of defense within 7 days. Enjoy the bar. Both parties will be on legal document. Official document being now ready within 14 days. Because I said that I'm also talking about no shame. So I'm filing on the car. Judge no superstition. So by the time I'm over 23rd, no. Now that I am ready for the case. Obey review case in progress. Obey further instructions. Normally they call it directions. No affect a trial date. The whole of a trial date, every amount. So basically the judge is saying let's not delay. Everyone has to fast.
Okay. And I'm after 23rd, no, you come by, you sign the back. Na komo bi o a sign no with da se bebre se o dey na otimi ki sai
ma minsia with you for no assurance
e pa chi me chi for ma assurance se o ma da wa se ne education o dey amomo ebi hwe na ebi hwe na no ebi hwe na nyumere da se bebre nkupo nhira. So that was a conversation that I brought to you over there. If you didn't get one or two things and you want another friend of or another lawyer to explain more, or another student of the law to explain more, I'll also bring it on. But let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I'm Augustine, and of course, I'll see you in the next one.